I'll just post the link like normal, bro.
Alright, we started, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Welcome back, Live Squad. We are in week 5, and it's happy late Thanksgiving, happy holiday for people who didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but hope everybody had a great time with family, friends, and loved ones. We are back, though. Sorry we didn't have a podcast the last week. Last 2 weeks?
Last one. Just last week, because there was one for week 3.
Yeah. Last week, because I was out of town, I went back home for the holidays, so been gone for 4 days, just came back. But of course, we are in week 5, but we are doing the week 4 recap. I hope it's a good week, because I have not been paying attention, but our first game is
the Jags and the Chiefs, actually.
Chiefs winning 55-10.
Oh wow! And look
Jags with 11 turnovers.
But look at this as we go in. Look at the fourth quarter, 38-0, 38 points in the fourth quarter. So before that happened, this was a touchdown. This was a touchdown difference.
It was a one-score game, 17-10 at half. And then in offense, it was close. And in offensive yards gained, 227-203. But it's the turnovers, 11 turnovers to 3.
Yeah.
That is crazy amount of turnovers. I don't think we've seen that many at all.
And really, 11 just makes 3 turnovers look really small. But I mean, I wouldn't even want 3 turnovers for a game. So I mean,
no. Not at all.
But yeah, let's go into the player stats here. Oh my God! As you can see, Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs, 83 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he was sacked twice. And oh God, 193 pass yards for Matt Ryan, 1 touchdown, and 10 interceptions, 6 sacks.
Along with 6 sacks.
God, that's crazy.
That is crazy. In the rushing game, Duke Johnson Jr. has played really well for the Kansas City Chiefs so far this year. 18 rushes, 148 yards, 7.8 average, and a touchdown. Leonard Fournette has not had a good season yet. At 15 rushes, 48 yards, 3.2 average, and 2 fumbles. That is absolutely. Oh, hang on. Tyreek Hill also fumbled, by the way. Oh, and so did D.D. Westbrook.
They have a lot of fumbles.
Oh no, never mind. And there's so many fumbles.
And I wonder which one. Which one was a fumble loss? Because if it was Matt Ryan, then 11 turnovers all on Matt Ryan. But I mean, anyways. All right, so going into the receiving, leader from the Jags was Allen Robinson, 6 receptions, 78 yards. And then the leader for the Chiefs was Tyreek Hill, 4 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown.
In the defensive game, though, sacks, leading the Kansas City Chiefs was Tim Jernigan, one of my favorite defensive tackles or defensive linemen, completely underrated with 3. And then Jacksonville had 1 by Yannick Ngakoue, and then half the sack for both Calais Campbell and Dante Fowler Jr.
Yep. Alright, so going into interceptions, we know there was a lot. So 2 Ramik Wilson, 2 Ukeme Eligwe, and 2 by Jarrell Skinner, the rookie out of Arkansas. But a lot of ones. So I'm not gonna say all those names, but there you go.
Yeah. In forced fumbles, though, this is where we get to see all the forced fumbles. 1 by Devin McBride, 1 by Justin Houston, 1 by Miles Hill, rookie out of Ohio State, and 1 by Tre'Davious White.
Fumble recoveries, and there was
There's
1.
2
Okay,
fumble.
so 2 fumble
There's
recoveries.
2.
Ukeme Eligwe.
And Jalen Ramsey.
And there were 3 defensive touchdowns too, all by the Chiefs. Ukeme Eligwe, Marcus Peters, and Jarrell Skinner.
Do you think it was the fumble or the interception that got him?
I actually
Yeah,
know it was
touchdown.
the fumble because I watched part of the stream and I saw him get the interception and not return it, so I know it was the fumble.
It was a fumble. In kick return or punt returns, neither. Congratulations to the Chiefs. Good luck in season number 3 for y'all. Oof, that was a big game.
Yeah.
A lot of points.
Alright, so the
what do we
next
got
game here we're going to talk about
Ooh.
is the Bears and the Saints. A really close game, actually.
27-24, Saints get the win. Saints had 3 turnovers while the Bears had 0, but the Saints did also have 140 more yards on offense over the Bears.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Saints, even though they turned the ball over, still dominated on the offensive side.
Yeah. And, I mean, time of possession was pretty even, too. So.
Alright, and yeah, let's get into player stats. So let's see how this game actually turned out. Mitchell Trubisky for passing for the Bears, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, sacked 9 different times though. 9 times. And Jameis Winston, the newly acquired Saints player, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 0 times. So really, like, we see Mitchell Trubisky having the best game here. But Jameis Winston, 2 for 2, not bad, wasn't sacked at all. And he had a pretty good yardage-wise and pretty good completion. They were both close, 65 and 60%.
Yeah.
So they both did pretty well on passing. So.
Yeah, alright, so going into rushing, you see the ex-49er Joe Williams leading the Saints, 27 attempts, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did fumble at once, but that's pretty good. And then leading the Bears was Jordan Howard, 10 attempts for 28 yards, and that's it.
Lord. Not very good on the rushing game for the Bears, though. But in the receiving game, wow, okay. Deion Sims for the Bears, 4 receptions, 88 yards and a touchdown. And Michael Thomas, 3 receptions, 76 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Saints.
And then going over to defense, sacks. You see 4 sacks from Cameron Jordan. Not a surprise at all.
I don't know. And even though he got less, not a surprise to see DeMarcus Lawrence playing out of his mind too, having a great season. Oh yeah, Chicago got no sacks. Forgot about that. But interceptions, yeah. Earl Thomas III and Kyle Fuller for the Bears.
Yep, and then forced fumbles. There was one by Adrian Amos, and there was a recovery by Patrick Milstead, the rookie out of Minnesota. Okay. No defensive touchdowns.
I'm trying to think of this in my head. A free safety made him fumble, and a slow defensive tackle made the recovery.
He was probably at the line or something. The safety is probably in the box, but
no kicker punt returns. So great game to both of them, though. Really, really great game.
Yep.
And next we have we have your game. Looks like I need to talk about your game now. Oakland Raiders coming out on top of the Minnesota Vikings, 30-20. 120 more yards on offense. You had 2 less turnovers, though, 2-4, and pretty close time of possession, even though you had 30 penalty yards. Oh, you actually only got 2 field goals while in the red zone. Just noticed that.
Yeah, I did settle for field goals a lot, though. 2, 3, 4.
And the box score shows that it was a 4-point game at half.
Yep.
It was a 4-point game, and you kicked 2 field goals in the 3rd and 4th. Well, 1 in each in the game. But we go into player stats, and this is where we see how well each side played. We have Derek Carr, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 0 times. And then Teddy Bridgewater, 157 passing yards, 3 interceptions, sacked 7 times. A lot of one-sided sacks so far in these games, where one side's getting a lot and the other is getting none.
Yeah.
In the rushing game, though, Dalvin Cook having a great game. 14 rushes, 114 yards, 8.1 average, 2 touchdowns. Did fumble once though, but also had 5 broken tackles. And Denario James, rookie out of New Hampshire, having 20 rushes, 85 yards, a 4.3 average, and a touchdown. So both running backs not doing bad. Dalvin Cook having the better game though. And into the receiving game, we'll see who had the best receiving. Marquise Goodwin, 6-year veteran out of Texas Hook'em Horns, 2 receptions, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the newly rookie out of Marshall, Randy Moss, for the Minnesota Vikings, 4 receptions, 79 yards. This is where it comes down to, is the defense. Defense always showing us what offense doesn't. And in sacks, Lord, the sack attack from the silver and black Khalil Mack, leading your team with 4 sacks. He got in there so many times. That is crazy. And interceptions, oh my Lord, okay. Obi Melifanu, Harrison Smith, Trey Waynes, Sean Smith, and Watts Reinhardt, rookie out of Memphis, all having an interception. And forced fumbles, we have Khalil Mack having one, and the recovery was by Jarrell Casey. Haven't heard much of him since season 1.
Yeah, that's true.
And defensive touchdowns, there were none. Kick return or punt return either. Great game by both of y'all, though. It was a close game until... Yeah, it was a close game all the way through.
Yeah, it really was.
But congratulations. I just want to say, you have a punt return by your rookie for 1 yard.
Mm-hmm.
The one punt he got was for 1 yard. He took 1 step and got hit.
Pretty much.
Alright. Chargers versus the Lions. 38-25 Chargers winning this game. Another close offensive side, both having pretty close turnovers, 4-3. Time of possession, pretty much same. Red zone offensive percentage, both low.
Yeah. But I mean, yardage wise wasn't too far apart. 3 turnovers compared to 4.
This one.
Anyways, let's go into the player stats here. Steven Garza, the rookie out of Montana, led the Chargers with 83 passing yards. He did throw 2 interceptions, but he wasn't sacked. And then Matthew Stafford led the Lions 188 yards, 4 interceptions, and he was sacked 5 times.
Oof. In the rushing game, though, Melvin Gordon, kind of underrated running back, 27 rushes, 252 yards, a 9.3 average, 4 touchdowns, 1 fumble, and 1 broken tackle. And then Amir Abdullah, 9 rushes, 73 yards at 8.1 average, and nothing else to show for it.
Yeah, and then going into receiving, we know there's not going to be much here, but Amir Abdullah leading the Lions, 4 receptions for 54 yards. And then Ty Montgomery leading the Chargers, 2 receptions for 30 yards.
In defensive stats, though, for sacks, we have Derek Barnett for the Chargers leading with 2. And that's it, with Jeremiah Tatchell at 1.5, Isaac Rochelle at 1, and half a sack by Denzel Perry.
That's a surprise. Okay, with Joey Bosa not getting a sack, you wonder if he even played. Because when I played the Chargers, Joey Bosa was in the backfield like every play.
I don't see him actually on here.
I saw him. Yeah, he got a tackle.
He had one assisted tackle. That's all he had was 1 assisted tackle.
And that's it.
Lord.
Okay. But anyways, going to interceptions, you see Denzel Perryman led the Chargers with 2, and then a couple people with 1 from the Lions, Tease Tabor and Deontay Westerman.
Alright, we're going to forced fumbles, though. And there was one by Ezekiel Anza and a recovery by Deontay Westerman, rookie out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then we see 2 defensive touchdowns from this one too. Jamal Lyons from the Chargers and Teez Tabor from the Lions.
And we have a safety, by Ezekiel Anza. There was a safety by Ezekiel Anza.
No kick returns, no punt returns, so good job to the Chargers there, staying undefeated on the season. Alright.
And what do we have next down here? We have
the 49ers and the Rams. It was just a complete blowout by the 49ers. Every form of the game. 500 yards compared to 178. 295 rush yards compared to 92 from the Rams. 205 pass yards compared to 86 from the Rams. 4 turnovers compared to 9 turnovers.
Still had 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
though.
that's still a lot.
But he had an 85% red zone offensive percentage with 6 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh, player stats though. We're going to player stats, and in the passing game, we see Brian Prather, rookie out of Oklahoma State, with 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, sacked twice. And Jared Goff, 138 yards, 9 interceptions, sacked 9 times. That's just neither quarterback doing really well. But at least Brian had 1 touchdown.
Alright, though, going to rushing. Darion Bozeman, the rookie out of Illinois State, 27 attempts, 245 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a fumble. 7 touchdowns, okay. And leading the Rams, Todd Gurley, 11 attempts, 91 yards, and a touchdown. While you're looking at Gurley and you're like, okay, he had a pretty nice game. And then you go look up at Bozeman and it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah. In the receiving game, though, leading receiver was Kenny Golladay, still there, still playing like a monster. 2 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Sammy Watkins for the Rams, 1 reception, 63 yards.
Alright, so going over to defense sacks, Solomon Thomas led the 49ers with 3.5. And then Kerry Hyder Jr. led the Rams with 2.
Lord. And interceptions, there was 4 people that had 2. San Francisco had Reuben Foster, Tooney Banks, and Cameron Sutton. And then for the Rams, we had Tremaine Johnson. And then a bunch of 1s.
Yeah.
Bunch of 1.
Alright, forced fumbles. I know we got at least 1. Yeah, we got 2. Tremaine Johnson, who also recovered it. And then A.J. Shepard. And let's see if there was another recovery. Nope, just the 1.
1 defensive touchdown by Cameron Sutton, though. So...
No kick return, no punt returns.
Congratulations to the 49ers for a division win.
Yep.
And good luck to everybody for the rest of the season. But the last game we have...
Another blowout.
Browns versus Seahawks.
Yep. Well, alright, so another game where... So Browns dominated this game, really. But turnovers, look at that. 8 turnovers by the Seahawks and 6 by the Browns. That's crazy.
So the Browns still just completely turn the ball over.
Just
even
a high week of a lot of turnovers this week.
But we'll see why. Deshaun Kaiser, 4 passing, of course. 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, sacked 0 times. And Bradley Natil, 141 yards, a touchdown, and 8 interceptions, sacked 5 times. Crazy turnovers for passing. No one's having a good passing game so far.
Yep, and then going to rushing, you see Crowell, 26 attempts, 150 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. And then leading the Seahawks was the quarterback, Bradley Natil, 4 attempts for 34 yards. 3 broken tackles. You don't usually see that from a quarterback.
In the receiving game, leading receiver was Zachary Nickerson, 4 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown for Cleveland. And for the Seahawks, Luke Wilson, backup tight, or is he a backup? No,
Yeah,
it's
because Jimmy Graham's still there, so.
4 receptions, 75 yards. Yeah, Jimmy
All right.
Graham's okay.
So going over to the defensive side, for sacks we have Easton McGarity leading the Browns with 1.5.
And then a bunch of
Nothing from the Seahawks, yeah. And then you get stuck with the interceptions here.
Christopher Kindle leading the Browns with 5 interceptions, and for the Seahawks, Cam Chancellor, Bam Bam Cam with 3. We also have Easton McGarity with 1, Brennan Farquhar with 1, Christian Kirksey and Jordan Willis also with 1. 5 and 3. Cam Chancellor still playing out of his mind, even for being that old.
And also, he had a forced fumble too. So 3 interceptions and a forced fumbles. Wow.
Man,
and then,
they don't call him Bam Bam Cam for nothing.
Yeah. And then Bobby Wagner had the other forced fumble, yeah.
But Cam recovered his.
Yeah, he recovered his own fumble too. So I'll be surprised if he doesn't get player of the game for
Easton
NFC.
McGarity though having a safety and defensive touchdowns, no one. 5 interceptions and no defensive touchdown.
No kick returns or punt returns there, so good job to the Browns. Good job everyone who won this week. Good job. I mean, good job to some people who lost. Good, not to everyone though. But we can't say good job to everyone. But the season's still young, so good luck to everyone. So now we move on to week 5 and talk about our game of the week. And so you can go ahead and announce that.
Game of the week, guys, is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. K Cousin versus your boy. K Cousin undefeated. Your boy, I have no clue. Your boy
He's undefeated too. He's 3-0. He already had his bye.
2 undefeated teams, both in the same division, both loving the run game, but both are really good users too. And we come down to, we know your boy can switch. If he can't have a rush game, he has the throw game, and no one can stop him when he starts throwing, because if you expect the run, you get thrown on, but if you expect the pass, you get ran on. And K Cousin, he has followed the trend of just running the ball constantly. Like, even if it's not working, he rushes and he still is able to get it. So, where are we going with this? Your boy, we've known him. He's been one of our best users since Madden 17. Was a Super Bowl champion Madden 17. Went to back-to-back Super Bowls. And in this year, he's gone to the playoffs. Oh, he went to playoffs first season. Barely missed out on an 11-5 record in season 2 because of y'all's division, because of the AFC.
Yeah. I don't know, with this one, it's gonna be hard to say, but I'll just say the keys for each side to win, and then I'll make my pick based off of that. But so keys for the Broncos to win is obviously shut down the run game of the Chargers, make him pass, because if he does pass, then he'll most likely make a mistake. And especially as good as the Broncos defense has been, he's been able to stop the run and also make people make those mistakes. And I mean, on offense, he really doesn't have to think about much. Just come in with his basic game plan. It should work for him, because like you said, he can run it if passing isn't there, or he can pass it if the run isn't there. So and then with that being said, the Chargers, he has to be able to be ready for everything on defense. He has to be ready for the pass. He has to be ready for the run. And obviously on offense, you don't want to be too predictable with the run, but I mean the run game is obviously his best game, so just stick with the run like he usually does. But with that being said, I think the Broncos have the best chance to win this game because of the way he plays defense and his ability to stop the run. And he can do both on offense, so I see him getting the win in this one.
You know, your boy's been a fan favorite. Since Madden 17, fan favorite. Always expected to win, but I think I'm gonna have to go with K Cousin on this one because he's done really well against some good users on that run game. Or even when it's supposed to be stopped, he finds that hole. His guys give him the one needed block, and he just goes off from there. And yeah, there's so many benefactors in this game of what they have to do on defense and what they have to do on offense, that it really is going to, I think it's going to be a really close game and come down to like the wire. Like last second points.
Yeah. Well, we're against each other on that one, but that's not the first time. So, excited to see this game being played.
Definitely.
But anyways, before we end, we go over 2 players of the week like we normally do. Let me get over there real quick. Alright, so, yeah, we were right. Offensive player of the week wasn't hard to predict.
Bozeman and Gordon, 9.1 and a 9.3. So many touchdowns for Bozeman, those 7 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, and 4 for Gordon.
Cam Chancellor, 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Even Kendall with the 2 tackles and 5 interceptions. I think these people deserved it. They had a very, very crazy game.
Definitely. Every single one of those guys deserved it. And it wasn't, while we were going through these stats, for all 4 of those players, I was thinking, yeah, he's player of the week.
Oh, definitely. I was like, there's no way anybody's passing him. Like, even if they threw for the 300 yards, just to see a running back rush for that much and have that good of an average. Pretty much a first down every single play.
Yeah.
And just...
those touchdowns.
Congratulations to everybody. Good luck to everybody. We're only in week 5, guys. We still got 12 weeks left after this. So anybody's got a chance, work hard, improve your game, and we'll see y'all on the playoffs.
Yep. Matt, and thank you guys for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week for another ComboLG Podcast.